Have you ever wondered why? Have you ever wondered why even the manliest man in the world can be afraid of a small, relatively harmless cockroach? Watch this and you will understand. And with this newfound knowledge, you can overcome the fear easier. So, for a start, there's actually a name for the fear of cockroach: Katsaridaphobia. Here's some figures to make you feel better. About up to 9% of people in the world have Katsaridaphobia. The other 91% can basically lie with a poker face. This means that this is more common than you expect, so don't feel afraid to say that you are scared of cockroaches. But why? Well, you might be shocked at some of the reasons. For a start, you will have to blame your parents. You see, certain fears are learned. Experts say that children learn from their environment, be it through negative experiences or manipulating their parents' actions. In other words, if your mom screamed and pulled out the Baygon spray at the sight of a cockroach, you will likely learn that cockroaches were bad and could kill you, even when the worst to do is to fly around. But that's not the only reason why you need to blame your parents for your fear of cockroaches. Did you know that you might have inherited the gene behind Katsaridaphobia too? Apparently, scientists have found that mice can pass on learned information about traumatic experience to subsequent generations. In the same way, people might suffer from irrational phobias because of the inherited experiences of their ancestors. And with the fear of cockroaches passing down to so many generations, I bet that by the year 2100, either everyone is afraid of cockroaches or everyone is a descendant of Elon Musk. But you get the idea. The fear of cockroaches cannot pass down from generations to generations like a virus, whether through learned actions or biology. There's another reason for this irrational fear, which is our biological preparedness. Similar to why many of us are afraid of heights due to their association to injury or death, we have this biological fear of cockroaches due to their association with dirtiness and potential illness. In addition, their roots, such as spiny legs, long antennae, a hard exoskeleton, and a dark oily appearance evoke disgust or discomfort as well. Of course, the very last reason that you are fearful of cockroaches is that you are humpty and useless and But yes, you get the idea. You'll notice that the fear is kind of biological and therefore it's not your fault. So, how can you overcome this fear then? Many experts recommend that the first step in the treatment plan for any phobia will be to expose the individual to whatever they are afraid of. In fact, this is the treatment plan for some mental illness too, like obsessive-compulsive disorder. That is known as exposure therapy. But of course, for obsessive-compulsive disorder, you need a mental health professional to help you. But to overcome Katsaridaphobia, you can DIY. Now, this sounds pretty terrifying, but don't worry. It doesn't have to involve anything big like touching a cockroach or eating every cockroach you see. You can start off by just talking about cockroaches and looking at images of them. In fact, if you are watching this video now, you have already completed the first step. Then you progress from seeing completely harmless and this specified in museums to the actual thing. You see, to defeat a phobia, you just need to become used to seeing the cockroaches over and over again until your heart stops speeding up when you see them, or you won't scream when you see them. Another way is to use augmented reality. A university in Spain made use of a Google VR headset combined with 6 degrees of freedom tracking system to create a vision of cockroaches running over the wearer's actual hand. The cockroaches were able to with their antenna and even change their size. Turns out that this method was actually quite effective. The 6 participants, all women, were initially unable to stand in a room with cockroaches, and one wanted to sell her apartment because of this. After the similar treatment, they were able to stick their finger into a container with a live cockroach. I don't know if this woman is still screaming now or not, but anyways. Now, here's a disclaimer. Just like any exposure therapy, you should do it slowly and in small increments. There are also mobile apps to help increase your exposure to cockroaches by making them appear on your screen. Now, how do you know that it has worked? You won't know until one day a cockroach crawl on your leg as you are watching Teletubbies on the TV and just coming the cockroach into your brother's room. What if you have not overcome your fear and the cockroach is flying in your room right now? No worries. Watch this video on how to remove a flying cockroach in your room without touching it. And thank you for spending almost 4 minutes with me. I really appreciate it.